I love you, but be so for real. Bieberchella matters because it wasn't just a performance, it was a proof of that man Justin Bieber's survival. It was a lot more than that, too. But, like, not proof that he was a healed man, not proof that everything people did to him is just now okay. But just proof that despite all of the stuff that the industry put that man through, he came out and he got that $10 million to perform at Bieberchella. Yes, he did, carrying his own name, even though they took his masters away, even though they manipulated him into selling them things. And then, to top it all off, Hailey Bieber sang, and you don't know an ounce of what it took for us to make it here. Clock it, sis. T. T. People see the fame, they see like, okay, he was so funny and relatable, blah, 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 but they don't know what it took for him to be standing there. Before I get into the shit, like, subscribe, follow, wherever you get your podcasts, listen, or get our little takes on TikTok or Instagram at I Love You But Podcasts. But yeah, I'm gonna get into it. Clearly, Champ is also very into Justin Bieber. He likes black people. He's racist, so that's why. Why Bieberchella matters. This was not just a headline, slot, or a fan moment. It symbolized the endurance of someone who's been in the industry since they were 11, 12, 13, and is somehow still here, still creating beautiful, great art, still emotionally functioning enough to show up, to have his wife, to have a son. And it matters because for a while we thought that he was a dunion. We thought it was over with for Justin because he was going through a lot. So the fact that he can perform and still make good new art, like, it wasn't just throwbacks. Like, Justin is going to be making bangers forever. And Bieberchella was not impressive because he's invincible. It's impressive because he's not invincible. No one should have to endure all the things that happen to him. So if we want to do a little recap, if we want to get political about it, Usher, Diddy, and the industry adults around him that failed him. And then not even just the industry adults failing him, his parents failing him. We all know about how Usher helped him launch his career, gave him legitimacy, woo woo ah ah. We saw that, I think I was like 14 or 15 when that little Justin Bieber movie came out, and we saw how Usher was like, you gotta do this for your voice, you gotta do that for your voice. And we thought it was all so nice and wholesome. But little did we know that being around Diddy and people with them types of ties matter, because because Justin has never said that, he was a victim of the essays from Diddy. So I'm not putting that kind of, I'm not going to make that accusation if that's not something that he resonates with. But what I can say is being around someone who was doing those kinds of things to the point where his parents, like Justin Bieber's parents, signed away their parental rights to Diddy. So when your parent is somebody like that, or the person who has rights to you, that can't be a healthy environment. This motherfucker is beating bitches' ass and harming a lot of people with this little boy in the house. So even if he did not do anything to him personally, it's still something that went on that he shouldn't have been witnessing, just like with Usher. And you know how they say the abused become the abuser. Now, I'm not saying Usher did nothing to touch that little boy, but he definitely was complicit in whatever was happening, right? And to me, being complicit is almost just as bad as doing the thing yourself. Not to mention, Usher recently just said, oh, Diddy's misunderstood. He's being portrayed in a way that's not really him. He's just misunderstood. My dog is bad. Pause, cause I gotta take care of this dog. We're back. We're so back. We're back like we never fucking left. But anyway, so Justin was around way too many adults that had too much power, too much industry too early, regardless of whatever role they played to exploit him. And even, I gotta go back to the Diddy and Usher thing. Even you guys have all probably seen the clip where Diddy sees Justin Bieber and they're having a conversation, and Diddy's like, well, why don't you ever hit me up? Why don't you have my number? And you can see Justin Bieber is physically uncomfortable. And then they was sexualizing this little boy, even if they weren't doing it themselves. Like, there was like an interview, or there was like something where he was on something like 106 in Park or something, and one of the women, who was like an old grown ass adult, was like, oh, you're cute. Like, people would always make these very weird sexual comments when it came to Justin Bieber, even when he was underage, a little boy. And you could see he was uncomfortable, and he would just kind of smile it off because he knew that was part of his job that he had to do. And I don't know, I just feel so bad for him, because I think we do bring light to the sexualization of little girls, and that is definitely real and definitely happens, but I don't think we talk about when it happens to boys. Um, and that's a whole other topic of just how I think that boys can get exploited in a different way because there's shame around speaking up about it, or it's like, you're supposed to enjoy this, you're supposed to want to be with this older, more experienced woman. Um, but yeah, I think that definitely played a part in the Justin Bieber that we see today. So, those things being said, when the people who were closest to you exploited you, it makes it super hard to know who you can trust and to find a way that you can healthily exist if you don't know who to trust since an early age. Um, so before he was ever like the problematic DUI teenager, 19, whatever, he was a child in the industry of adults that were supposed to teach him and protect him. I mean, they weren't. They were there to specifically exploit him, and they didn't. Oh, also, like how they had those plates at one of those little parties. This came out when everyone was like accusing Jay-Z of whatever stuff with Diddy, which I have not gone down that rabbit hole yet, so I have no claim on that one way or the other. But what I did see was those little plates that said yummy or whatever with the Justin Bieber song with his little face on it. Something's not right. Now, speaking of Justin going down a bad path once he became a teenager, like an adult teenager, I feel like his mishaps need context. I don't think it's fair to just say, well, he did this and he did that and he was a crash out. Because if my parent is Diddy, what you think I'm gonna do? And I think like the biggest thing that people in my demographic bring up is one less lonely N word that he is recorded on camera saying, and or he's singing it, and instead of saying girl, he's saying the N word. But like, I have he should have said sorry for it, and I think there was like a PR sorry for it. It wasn't like he went on a whole big interview thing and said sorry. But even if he did say sorry in an interview, would we believe his sorry? I think that the only way to know if someone is apologetic is if their actions align with what they say they stand for. And to me, I've always associated Justin Bieber with Black culture. Obviously, I understand that he has the same appeal to white people's too, but it, he's Jaquavius. That man Jaquavius is light skinned and he's a black man. And like, in all seriousness, he was raised by black people and they always made him adjacent to black people. And some of those people were the ones that exploited him. So he felt comfortable to say the word. Probably from being around those people. And if he meant it in a negative way and not just like I'm a dumb, stupid kid and I have this phase where I'm going to say the N word way, I could see why he didn't think it was bad because the black people that he had to trust the most were animals. And not because they're black, but because they were doing animalistic things. Just like Jeffrey Epstein was doing animalistic things. Don't matter the race, you're an animal. So I could see why he, in his miseducation, in his youth, in his abuse, felt that he could say those things, whether it was a jokey joke or not. So I'm not taking away that mistake that he did, but it's more so like the people that saying, well, why didn't he put that clip during Coachella, but he did the like, you're not clocking it clip. Why would he put what is funny about that clip? Why would he put that clip up? Oh, he should have did that if he was going to take, y'all just be asking for anything and it don't even make sense. Like, what would that have done for you in your healing journey? He's trying to spread light and positivity and show he loved his wife and his baby. Why would he be putting that when he brought out 4 or 5 black people on stage, like Tim, SZA, who else? I forget. But he brought out multiple black people on Coachella, the stage. He had Druski featured on his album. I don't understand what else you would want somebody to do to apologize. Like, I just think we need to just be so for real about that. Also, let's talk about the fact that everybody, whether they're celebs or people in real life, be having that phase where they say racist stuff, particularly having to do with black people or the N word. I know that a lot of black people have a phase where they make Asian jokes, okay? And it's not right, but it's almost like it's a rite of passage. So we're not about to just single out Justin Bieber like Miley Cyrus didn't have a whole phase where she was uh playing black and Nicki Minaj said, "So what's up, Miley?" Back in the days when Nicki Minaj was right. R.I.P. Miss those days. Um, and then we're not gonna act like the country singer Morgan Wallen didn't, as a whole grown adult at 27, say the N word because he was drunk coming home. And then, however you say her name, Camila Cabello, whatever, she had old racist posts resurfaced from when she was a teen. And she probably still might be a little, I don't know. I don't know that much about the woman, but she seemed like she be tokenizing her Latina-ness. But that ain't none of my business. I haven't gone down that rabbit hole to stand firm in that. But anyway, yes, the video matters, but I think what we should be talking about more is how that video highlights the societal norm of like having a stage of being discriminatory or racist and thinking that it's funny, like as part of our like youth jokes. Um like in the black community, we had the, and it's not to say, first of all, before somebody take and mistwist my words, let me say this. I don't think that black people can like be at, I don't believe in the like, oh well, all white matters, all white lives matters, or all lives matters, or whatever. I don't believe in all that. No, I think that systemically certain people suffer more than others, right? Like we know that, right? So I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, including black people be having moments of saying things that are messed up towards other races because we're ignorant. And I think we're brainwashed to spew hate against each other. And that's why it's like a growing up rite of passage, because we're less powerful divided than we are together. Anyway, leave that man alone. Why would he put that clip up on Coachella? Come on now. Okay. Speaking of Jaquavius, I want to go back to like how he was truly shaped through Black culture and access, and like even his aesthetics, some of his songs, like the Journals album. That was a light skinned Black man that made that album. And I think Black culture gave him space, but like his white celebrity definitely protected him from some of the consequences that he would have experienced if he was Black, to like all the stuff that he was doing um out in these streets with the Taz's Angels in Miami, and drugs and drinking and all that. Like, definitely being white gave him a privilege, but I think at the end of the day, he didn't invent the dynamic that like certain white artists would kind of become Black adjacent and blow up from that way. Like, let's think about Justin Timberlake and his whole thing with Timberland. You had the Black man producing, making the beats, and you had Justin Timberlake, a white man with his little curly hair at the top, his little curly top, singing. And then let's think about modern day, like Jack Harlow making the R&B album, which I'm not against. I had a TikTok talking about that, and everybody tried to devour me, but I still stand by that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. And it's profitable to do this blueprint. So regardless of if Justin intentionally aligned himself with Black people or not, they were always going to push him that way because they could see that was going to be profitable. Now, what I really know the Selena fans is going to try to eat me up for, and I don't care, because why should I? Is the fact that Hailey Bieber deserves way more respect than we give her as the first lady of Bieberchella, and as his wife and the mother of his child. Everybody had a phase where it was like, oh my gosh, Justin and Selena, they're so cute, they're so that, or I wish I was Selena, blah, blah, blah. Hailey, she's just a copycat, she's just a wannabe. But at the end of the day, that's been his wife for years, and she understands the cost of his survival, of what he's given to the industry, more than anyone in the audience can. And she's had to be stable and steady with a man who the public has always seen as like a sex symbol, as a pop star, as almost like an object, while also demeaning her, belittling her, and staying strong. And people judge her from outside while she's been living inside with that man who has said on his like social media that he's been hurt by the industry, he's been taken advantage by the industry, and he's had to fight to find his love back, find his relationship, and continue his relationship with God. She's been there through all that. She was there at the times when he wanted to die. She was there at the times when people took advantage of him financially. Um and comparing her to a story that the media created about the perfect couple between him and Selena Gomez is really stupid. I'm sorry, like, I don't know a better word. It's stupid. Why would we do that? And then I'm going to take it a step further. Hailey was always going to be the choice. She was always going to be better for him than Selena Gomez. Because I'm going to say this, because Hailey can't say this without getting bullied. And I'm not saying like I'm anti Selena. I don't really care about that woman. I think she's talented with the acting and all that. I watched one of them shows she produced on Hulu. I forget it, where they had the podcast or whatever. Cool. She cool with that. She cute, I guess. Like, she's cute. She's not. It's not about being more pretty, iconic. It's about the fit, the timing, the way that Hailey Bieber helps him regulate his entire nervous system. Selena and Justin may have loved each other, but they was unhealthy. And if I'm really going to get into it, she was the one who started putting him onto drugs, like the hard drugs. The video when they was caught in LA near Skid Row or whatever getting drugs, it was her plug, like it was her dealer. And nobody was surprised to see her, but they were like, "Oh my god, it's Justin Bieber, blah blah blah." This was her stuff that she was putting him onto because misery loves company. And even if she wasn't the first one to put him on, which I do believe she was, regardless, it was toxic because they're enabling each other's addictions, doing hard drugs together. We ain't talking about marijuana. We talking about like meth and stuff. Then this girl got that kidney transplant, exploited that other little girl that was her in quotes friend for it, then don't talk about her and ain't even cool with her. And then after Justin proposed to Hailey, she gonna be on camera doing shots. Girl, you got a brand new fresh kidney from somebody that you don't even talk to no more, and you got a nerve to be doing shots on camera because somebody proposed to somebody who's better than you for this man. Come on now. Be so for real, girl. Be so for real. Hailey is offering him structure, containment, loyalty, and on top of that, she make more money than him. She sold the road her to like, or she whatever they did for $1 billion with road, $1 billion, and even though she didn't get all of that billion, she got enough of it. She's making more money than him. He is in debt. He had to sell his masters. Like, she's thorough. Hailey Bieber is a thorough ass bitch. And y'all not putting enough respect on my girl's name. And I'm saying it because she can't, because the Selena fans love to bully her. They love to say she's doing this and she's doing this sneak attack. And what if she do a sneak attack? You're crazy. Your fans are crazy. Okay, let me stop. I'm done. Anyway, let me end that on a nice little wholesome note. The person who is better for you is not always the person the public is rooting for because we don't know nothing. Selena was the love story that people wanted, but Hailey is the better life partner that he actually needed. And the reason that he was actually able to even make it to do a Coachella, he would not be doing Bieberchella if he was still with that bum that go with the other bum, Benny Blanco. We could just know this. Okay, I do not hate that little girl. Let me just stop. I'm just like, I just hate that Hailey gets on the strength of her. So that's why I'm going in. But I really don't have nothing against that little girl. I think she's talented. She cute. She got her own traumas. Okay, so whatever. Anyway, in closing, what does Bieberchella really mean? It means Justin Bieber, Jaquavius, can never disappear. He true to this, not new to this. It don't matter what they did to try to break him down, take advantage of him. He's going to always make it back. He didn't get consumed. He used his faith to make it back, to perform on that stage, to make everybody smile, to make everybody happy, to make everybody remember the days that we was all in love with him and still am. He's still here after things that could have literally probably killed him. And we need to put some respect on his wife's name. And yeah, Bieberchella is not just a comeback. It's evidence that Justin Bieber survived and Hailey earned the First Lady of Bieberchella title. Much love. If you want to hear more conversations like this, where I'm not scared to get bullied by people's fans, I'm going to give you the real tea. I'm going to say it the way that I want to say it. Interviews with people who are actually qualified and have years of speaking about things. Like, subscribe, follow at I Love You But Be For Real podcasts. And I love y'all. Let's keep it real. Bye, Bookie.